I want to start today with one of these totally dystopian horror stories that's framed in our modern cultural and economic system as entertainment or something nice, when in reality, it is a story that shows us just how bad things are. And I'm talking about this viral story of a cash scramble, $5,001 bills laid out on an ice rink in South Dakota, where during a hockey game, during the Sioux Falls Stampede hockey game on Saturday night, teachers from nearby schools were invited to grab as many dollar bills as possible in less than 5 minutes. And the idea, the point of this was it's $5,000 that the teachers can secure to get supplies for their classrooms. And the money was, of course, donated not for nothing. It was a sponsorship. CU Mortgage Direct donated the 5,000 in dollar bills in exchange for sponsorship placement on the event because they're so great and it's an amazing thing that they're doing. So they get publicity out of it. And the idea is let the teachers go at it picking up cash. And not only is it, I mean, listen, of course it's demeaning to some degree to send people out to pick up dollar bills because it shows a certain degree of financial need that is often stigmatized in many cultures, not just unique to the United States. The idea of you're scrambling for dollar bills and stuffing them in your pants and in your, wherever it is that you're stuffing them. There's, the idea is it's sort of, oh, wow, we're more refined. We're not so crass that we get on our hands and knees for dollar bills. So in some sense, there's that aspect to it. But then it's teachers for money, for supplies, for their classrooms. And it's another one of these stories where if things were functioning correctly, this wouldn't be necessary. The classic example, Breaking Bad, the tremendous television program with Bryan Cranston as Walter White, as a high school science teacher, chemistry teacher, who gets a diagnosis of lung cancer and starts cooking meth to not only pay for his treatment, but to leave some money for his family. So it's a signal of, yes, as a teacher, he's underpaid, right? Because he needs to do this in order to pay for the treatment and leave some money to his family. But also in a country that has single payer healthcare, universal healthcare of some kind, you don't need to go to cooking and selling meth in order to pay for your medical treatment. So in many countries, Breaking Bad just never happens. These are similar stories to the ones we've done where little Jimmy or little Shlomo, 7 years old, is raising money for Susie's cancer treatment and he's making brownies and blondies and they're selling them at 75 cents each at school to fundraise for Susie's cancer treatment. How lovely. What an amazing show of love and empathy. And it is those things, but it is dystopian that it is even necessary. Why are 7-year-olds doing bake sales to raise money for someone else's cancer treatment? Or this is another one. I think this might have been like a prosthetic, but the gist of the story was, local machine shop welds a wheelchair for some kid who can't afford the wheelchair and whose parents can't afford it. Well, we had a differently organized medical system. You just get the wheelchair because it's covered by social insurance or whatever other system is put in place. And that is very similar to this entire South Dakota thing. So, is it demeaning to be crawling around on your hands and knees for dollar bills? Sure. If it were teachers crawling around on hands and knees for themselves for dollar bills, then we would say maybe the teachers aren't paid enough. Okay. But this was teachers crawling around on hands and knees to get a share of $5,000 to get supplies for their classrooms. And so maybe we're not properly funding education, at least in South Dakota. There are states where education is relatively well funded. South Dakota, not a state known for particularly good infrastructure, healthcare, or educational funding. So at the end of the day, we don't seek to take away from the humanity of the people doing the thing, right? When little Jimmy says, I want Susie to get the cancer treatment, so I'm going to do the bake sale. Jimmy's doing a great thing that should be praised. When the local machine shop says, kid can't afford a wheelchair, we're going to weld one for him. Those are great acts. When teachers want their students to have what they need in the classroom, so they say, I'll get on my hands and knees for dollar bills and stick them in my bra and my jock strap or whatever it is. They're doing a good thing. They're doing a good thing. But it is the system that has failed. If teachers, after 4 years of college, many of them 2 more years for a master's degree, maybe 3, you end up on an ice rink wrestling for dollar bills to pay for pencils. We have systems that have failed here, and it's horrifying. And it's okay for us to say that it's horrifying, even if the teachers are doing a great thing. And you know what? It's not even like the mortgage company is a bad guy. They put up the $5,000. Sure. I mean, they did it in exchange for sponsorship. It's still $5,000. It's a systemic problem that continues to rear its head in these dystopian circumstances.
One of our sponsors is Nebbia, who's introducing their newest shower head, the Nebbia by Mon Quattro. It was designed by former NASA engineers who spent years researching how to save water. Quattro is the world's best high-pressure water-saving shower head, starting at just $119. And Quattro uses 40 to 50% less water than traditional shower heads, helping the planet, helping your wallet, still giving you the high-pressure water stream you love with 4 different spray modes. Literally takes 1 to 2 minutes to install. Easy as screwing in a light bulb. I love it. I have the rain shower version. I've been using Nebbia shower heads for a while now. I love saving the water, and I love the high-pressure spray. It's really the best of both worlds. Nebbia, the maker of Quattro, also offers sustainable bathroom accessories. I have the soft gray bath mat and the Nebbia double shelf. The Quattro shower head is just $119, but Nebbia is giving you 10% off when you go to nebbia.com/Pacman and use the promo code Pacman. The link is underneath this video.